Hello and welcome to World of Tanks with Dsann. In today's video we'll be going over some replays I had in my T54. Now before we start I'd like to apologize for not putting out any videos recently, but I've been having some issues with my editing software, and as those of you who saw my last video will be aware, I've been having a bad streak of games that thankfully ended a few weeks back, so I have a bunch of replays that hopefully you guys will enjoy. So without further ado, let's get on with the replays. And here we see the first replay, my T54. I am very much towards the bottom of the list. This is a very, very tier 10 match, as you can see on the newer map. I wouldn't say newest, I don't remember what patch this was introduced, but it's not terribly old. This is from the map called Severogorsk, and it is a standard battle. So let's get this show on the road, and I'm going to speed it up as I usually do, because watching me drive around for 5 minutes is kind of dull. So watch me get into position, rolling up the hill. And as I said, this is a very much a tier 10 match. I mean, look, tier 10, 10, 10. I'm basically surrounded by tier 10s here, so kind of redundant for me being up here in the first place with all these tier 10s. I just realized. Didn't really think about that at the time. So yeah, here we are on Severogorsk. The enemy base is, well, spawn is there and as well over there. As you can see, we had a scout going suicide, a tier 7 light American. And I'm just going to switch to what I do, so get a feel for how I play. As you can see, I am, just check that I have not messed up my replay settings here. No, that was indeed one time. You can see the M103 at object 268. Again, there's one tier 9 up here that I've seen so far. Oh, yep, one tier 9. The rest are pretty much tier 10. Their Lorraine 40T is pretty much AFK at some point if memory serves. So they're getting blasted over there. As you can see, object 268 just obliterates that E4. And the M103 is being a sneaky little bugger, so I've decided, I'm gonna try and get a shot on him if I can, but this is not ideal territory for a Russian tank because of the lack of gun depression. Well, it does have some decent elevation. I couldn't, for example, go over that hill and shoot down on him without taking tremendous amount, you know, at least a shot, maybe 2 from the M103 because of angles. And I'm basically just sitting here hoping to get a shot on him. There's not a lot going on right now, so I'm just sitting here thinking, what's going on over here? Perhaps I should go see if I can help elsewhere. Nah. Oh no. Tier 10 just rolled around the corner. Wiped out one of our tier 10s. Oh, here they come. No, maybe not. They are holding back. I mean, if we look around, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 tier 10s. And oh, that's a big, nasty artillery hit. That went right through my upper plate. 900 damage. So obviously repair my ammo rack, because that is probably the most important thing on a tank other than maybe the engine. And this tank and many of its similar brothers, T62 over there for example, has a relatively easy to penetrate ammo rack. And there we bounced at object 262. I mean 268. Sorry, 262. As you can see, it hit the turret and just kind of did nothing. So we were very lucky there. So there you can see the gun depression just isn't enough for me to get the gun pointing down. I'll look over there. Can I shoot anything? No. You'll note at this point I haven't shot a single thing yet. I haven't hit anything anyway. And this game really wasn't the greatest game ever, but it ends up alright, so. But yeah, so for now I'm just sitting here thinking, it's getting kind of annoying. I'm getting really annoyed at this M103. It's like, just show up or leave. Guy is 7 over there complaining. Oh, the T62 takes a nasty old hit. And if my memory is right, any second now, yep. If you notice down here, you can see an AMX 1375 just rush towards our arty. Now, I didn't notice that at the time because I was way too preoccupied by the fact that I was trying to get a shot on tier 10s and 9s. Meanwhile, our IS-7 is raging. but you know, that happens. There are people who don't like to lose. I understand them at times, but... And it does look like we're losing. We're down 2-6. I mean, this isn't looking very good. I'll admit that much. And any second now we should be seeing... Yep, and there they are capping. That is the 1375 we saw earlier. So I decide, you know what? I'm the fastest one here. I'm a head back. Plus, I'm not doing any good up here just shooting at rocks. So using the mobility that this tank has, and it is probably one of the more agile tier 9 mediums. Second only to the French and the German ones, I would imagine. Kinda doesn't leave that many left, but yeah, you get my point. So you see the Object 268 has also had the same idea of me going back, but I know that the 1375, oh there he is, and I know that that's a light tank, so you never know. I've outflanked many tank destroyer myself in light tanks, so I know that these are... You can't just go one in and hope like hell, you know, because he could easily take out that 268. You get a big old hit, reset the cap. That's pretty much, that's secured. I wait for a reload, but T110E5 up there. No, up there. Wipes him out. So I decide, I should go over to the right side again. Then I notice we still have a heavy presence there. Notice that on the left we only have an E100 and the Yag Tiger. So I decide to help these three, or and the Object obviously, and I decide to help them out. Because, you know, being a fast medium, you can afford to switch sides like this. Most heavies, for example, you could not. Try and get a shot up on the AMX, but we unfortunately miss. Oh, pardon me. So just trying to get into a position where I can help the Yag Tiger. The E100 is gone. He got wiped out by something, I don't know. Probably the E50M. I do note they do have a Foch 155 and a Jagdpanzer E100. I haven't seen the E100 anyway. Oh, there. Yeah, he's been spotted here. So, I never saw him this match. He obviously got dealt with elsewhere or something. I don't know. And now you can see we've pulled this back. We went from 6-2 to 8-7, which is much more reliable odds. I try and get a shot on the IS-8, but again, the Russian gun depression just doesn't help. The Object goes full... No, that was just a dumb move. That was an idiot move. I try and get a shot on the 50M. Take a shot. Hit absolutely nothing, which is typical me in this kind of situation. But yeah. Use the Object for cover, because I don't have that much health. And then, well, just try and apply as much damage and pressure as I can. E75. Oh, and he bounced off the front. Somewhere, I guess he hit about the same spot as the other gun damaged it, so bounce 0 damage, that's what counts, right? And that was a hit. I don't know, probably critical damage because it didn't do anything anyway, either bounced or critted. Now remember, this gun has only 290mm penetration with standard ammo, and I do not carry gold ammo because, well, I just don't like to use gold ammo unless it's a very, very, very crappy gun, so I usually just stick to normal and some high explosive. Say what you want about that, I guess. I don't like using premium ammo much myself. I think I only carried it on like 2 tanks, so you can see I'm just back and forth trying to figure out, okay, where I want to go now. Try not to get shot by them. So I'm back, go up a little bit to help. Here I decide I'm going to go spot for the Yag Tiger because he is a big slow tank destroyer. He does do better when he's far back. You can see him in CS, write it in chat. As lazy as I am, I can't even write the full word Yag Tiger. You can see E50M, which I believe actually isn't even looking at me. Oh, look at the little Frenchie run. Oh, the Yag Tiger puts in a big hit. Can I get the kill? Yes, I can. Kill secured. Well, 500 damage. It's not very good. Here we go around. Ooh, E50M. Tasty. Shoot him right in the side. 300 damage. Very good hit. Above average damage. Wait for the Yag Tiger because he has more health and a bigger Well, he's bigger everything. Puts in a big hit and I finish him off. And there's Lorraine, which I believe has been AFK most of this match. And there you go. So, onto the battle report screen. And here we see the battle report screen. Now, I'm going to just jump past this one real quickly because there's much to see. Only thing really of note here is that I'd made 31,000 credits and 2,500 XP doubled. Now, going on to the team score, we can see that I got 849 XP base, which is not terrible. It's actually quite good considering the match we had. I got 2 kills, only did 1,100 damage, which is a lot lower than what I could be doing. As you see, all the other tier 9 and 10s are doing at least 2,000 damage. I mean, then you get down to these guys, and these guys are kind of... That's just a bad game, right? Hopefully that's just a bad game and not a bad player. Because 0 damage in a tier 10 heavy and a tier 10 tank destroyer does not look good. So if we go right onto the detail report, we see that I shot 12 shots, 7 of which hit, only 4 penetrated unfortunately, and that's just how this gun is. It does not have a lot of penetration. It does do decent damage for its caliber, but as a... just that penetration lets me down. You really have to focus on the weak spots in the T54. If we go on to the armor, on the other hand, we see that I only did take 3 hits, but they must have been 3 big hits, because 1 penetration, 1 splash, and 2 non-penetrations were enough to get a potential damage of 3,340, which is more than double what I have in armor, or HP, so obviously the armor held up better than the gun. The rest of the stats, enemies damaged 3, there's nothing special. 2 destroyed again. Nothing special. 665 spotting damage. Yeah, it's okay. Could be worse, I suppose. Could be much better, but of course you're not a scout, so you don't really rely on that. Obviously, we didn't try and cap that game, but we did get some defense points because we did shoot out that AMX 1375. So, yeah. Just a word of warning for those of you who don't have Tier 9 but are interested in them. Do be aware that you will be losing money if you don't have a premium account, and even then, at tier 9 and 10 you will probably lose a lot of money unless you have a decent game every time. So just keep that in mind. Tier 8 heavy or premium heavies are really good to counteract that with their higher credit earning potential. But yeah, that's basically my little word of advice when it comes to tier 9s. Don't just drive them without anything else. And now on to the best replay of the 2 I had. I saved the best for last, of course, so without further ado, let's get on with that, shall we? So here we are on steps. This is a very tier 8 match, as you can see. There's only 3 tier 9s per team, 2 medium and 2 artillery. So this is a very favorable matchmaking for this tank. So it's on the map steps. Usually I'm used to this one on encounter, but it's standard battle, so I ain't gonna complain. And I'm on the game with my friend Uruchi and his M12 artillery scene there. And without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So I'm looking around thinking, okay, where do I go? So I go this way. This is the way I usually go when I'm in anything lighter, in a lighter tank, because only heavy should really go the other side. Oh, almost missed the fact that there was a light tank there. And, ooh, first target of the day, a Panther. I'll point out I do have Uruchi on Skype, so you know I do have artillery backup on my call more so than I normally would. And as I point out, there's a lot of artillery in this game. It's most artillery I've seen since patch 8.6 when they changed some of the accuracy mechanics. And here I go. Okay. Oh, IS-3. Oh, T29. Oh god, there's a lot of them over here. Look to see on the map, and I don't really have a lot of backup. I have an IS-3. But a tier 9 and a tier 8 versus 2 tier 7s and a tier 8? You would think you know who wins this, but this is World of Tanks. But, yeah. Panther takes a big hit. I bounce off his turret. Must hit the side of it just as he popped around instead of the center. Unlucky, but what are you going to do? He actually penetrates. Hit the IS-3, and I'm wondering, why isn't the IS-3 moving? Did I track him? Realize I've tracked him on a hill where he can't shoot me back. So I focus on his drive wheel, which is obviously the place where you want to aim for most chance of penetrating. And, well, you know, I almost feel bad for this guy because this must be so frustrating. Not being able to lower your gun enough to shoot. Just basically taking shot after shot right in the face. So, boom, boom. IS-3 let me have that kill, I imagine. Onto the T-29, which is basically almost identical to the T-34, the T-30 tank destroyer in the hull and turret, but it's got a very vastly inferior gun. In fact, this one has the stock 76mm or 90mm. I can't tell from here. As you saw, I hit him on top of the turret instead of like on the front of the turret because you won't penetrate there. Top of the turret, on the other hand, has a hatch, which is a weak spot on that tank, and is shared with the T-30 and the T-34, sorry, as they all have pretty much the same turret. You may notice the artillery shell behind me, which got me to move fast. CVK, not too worried. See the T-29. Snapshot, nah, should probably have waited a second longer. I could have taken the hit. I mean, that's all he did was bounce off me. And see the IS-3 going for the VK. No, he's got that one secure, so I go up here and manage to promptly get myself stuck in a proud little dirt moment. Kind of embarrassing what I managed. So first I decided to think, maybe I should go back the IS-3 up, but then I realized that down here is a lot of enemies, and here is a couple of enemies, so I realized they've managed to break through, so I leave the IS-3 to his own devices. I figure he'll be fine against a couple of artillery. Well, 3 artillery to be precise, so I rush back. Our artillery is a little bit unhappy right now. So our IS-3 takes out one of them. Don't know what he killed, but still something. There, he killed an artillery. Good man. He manages to take out another one, I believe. T54 just took down their tier 9. Now here you see, I have 2 tanks to shoot at. I choose to go after the AMX because I figure one less gun means one less shelled tank, if you know what I mean. And oh, someone lit up the third tank, but oh, we light up the French tank. Hey, everyone's burning. IS-3 is still going strong. Obviously rushing in GW Tiger over there. Meanwhile, I rushed the Type 59. I don't know if I bounced or I can't quite tell. So he's like freaking out a bit, I guess. I track him. Which is a bit unlucky. I should probably have waited a bit longer. I can easily take this guy on. Right through his front. Ooh, yeah, Panther right in the ammo rack. So you can see I'm trying to keep my hull angled away from him so I don't have to take heads on. So, oh, bounce on the side. That's a bit lucky. And help him out with the IS-3. He's screwed. SU-152 finishes him off. So now we are 12 versus 9. Ooh, that hurt. I'm at only 500 out of 1600 health, so I'm very low. But, you know, that can't discourage you. You have to just keep plodding on at this point. Almost won. I've used up both my repair kit and my health pack. I mean, my med kit because, you know, don't want to be without an ammo rack or a driver. So I decided to go this way around because I don't know what's on the other side of the map. Well, I do know they are not here on this side. So you can see I've done 4,251 damage, which is really good when you consider the gun does 3,000 damage, 300 damage. I wish the gun did 3,000 damage. Alas, it doesn't. It doesn't even do 1,320 with 200 pen. Kind of disappointing, but not much you can do about that, really. So here we go, rolling down the hills. Taking it nice and careful because that SU-152 does have the potential, if you get a lucky roll, like a side-on hit, for example, he could probably take me out. That 212 will most certainly take me out if he hits me. Tier 9 artillery hits hard, and oh, there he is. Oh, track him, track him, track him. Didn't track him. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. Oh, big hit. He misses though, and I get the kill. But now I'm in trouble. Tracked, I've lost my driver. SU-152 has a long reload though, so he doesn't get a second shot. That did, however, do 300 damage, and now I am pretty much a one-shot kill for either of these guys. Well, maybe not the Egg Panther, he probably has to shoot me twice, but still. I'm in a very, very bad position. Now, not a lot's going to happen the next little while, so I'm just going to speed things up a little bit. Basically here I'm just taking cover, waiting for backup to arrive. Kinda stressed out because I have so little health. SU-152 arrives. He rushes a bit blindly into it. Oh, and there's the Egg Panther on the hill. And oh, he takes a hit. He's gone. There's no way he's walking out of this one alive, basically. And there the Egg Panther finishes him off. I try, but unfortunately, I'm unlucky. Go back into my little hiding place because I'm worried he might come after me. I do have artillery support, obviously, and the AT-15 is slowly crawling along the left flank. And you may or may not notice now, but the Lorraine is actually starting to move up. And, well, that's a very typical of French artillery. They can pull that off. So here I'm just going to speed things up because I'm just back and forth. It'd be kind of boring to just watch me sit behind a bush for 5 minutes. Now, this does get rather low for a standard battle. There's not many battles that last this long, I have to admit, and not be complete campfest. So it's a fun game. It was very entertaining. It was kind of intense, and here we go. They're both spotted. And oh, the SU-152 is looking right at me. I'm not going over that hill until he turns. And he's like, he looks like he can't decide if he wants to turn or not. I must say they did play very well together. They did work very well together, but here we see him turn around. Now, the replay system does not always show the outlines. I'm sorry for that. But as you can see there, right in the back of the head, basically. So I go, yeah, I'm going to try and sneak in a shot on his rear. No idea what I hit there, but it wasn't him. Back up. He turns around to try and shoot me again. And the GW Tiger finishes him off for the last 16 damage, leaving me at 5 kills instead of 6. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Top Gun. But at 4397, almost 5400 damage, sorry. That was a pretty good game. And now onto the battle report screen. And here we are in the battle report screen. Again, I'm going to just skim through this first page because really it's not much I can show here. So 80,700 credits earned. Very good, and yet you'll see later that that isn't really that special in the end because of the Tier 9. Tier 9 and 10 costs are just so high that even that's not that much profit in the end. 3,700 experience, that's a really decent game in my opinion, and yet still only enough to get a first class mastery badge, which means there were people who did much better, or not much better, but better than that. So moving on, we can see here that I did 5,300 damage, which is about almost as much as the next two put together, which is kind of funny. Only got 5 kills. I could have had more, but you know, I guess I wasn't meant to have that Top Gun. And 1,255 experience, which is really good. So if we go to the detail report, we can see that I shot 28 shots, 22 which hit, and 21 of which penetrated, which for this gun isn't a really good statistic, but bear in mind it was a tier 9 to 7 match, so can't really expect to bounce, you know, meet that high tier enemies. I think it was tier 9 to 8 and 7 anyway. I don't think there was any tier 10s. Nope. And 9 hits received, 6 penetrations, and 3 non-penetrations. Potential damage was 2745. Now, the observant of you might remember from the last, or notice that this is actually lower than the last video, which is kind of amusing to me, because it took 3 times the hit, and yet it's 600 damage less, which just shows how much damage is being flung around at tier 10. Enemies detected 4, although that's not really important unless you're a scout. Damaged 8, which is good. I mean, it's over half their team. And 5 destroyed. Again, good, but not enough for a Top Gun, which kind of disappointed me. But can't complain either. 352 spotting damage. Nothing to write home about, but then, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a scout, so not that important. Capture points, irrelevant. Both capture and defense. And as I was saying, here's how much I would have made without premium account. 1,500 credits. 28,000 with premium. That's just shows how expensive these shells are. I mean, 34,000 for a reload alone. I mean, yeah, sure, I had a lot of repair costs too, because I took a bit of damage, but still, 34,000? Dang. Anyway, moving on. Well, there you go, 2 T54 replays. I hope you enjoyed them. Please remember to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.